All right, so this morning we are headed up to Placerville. It's like 7 a.m. We've got to go grab the chipper and finish up like, I don't know, an hour's worth of cleanup. It's really not that much. The problem has been multiple fold, but it's not a big deal. I've been waiting on the skid to be serviced so I could take it back up there because I've got work up by that region that I need to do. And I was going to use it because the jack on the front of the BC 1500 is, the Vermeer chipper is bent like a banana and it won't work any longer. For some reason, Vermeer thought it was a good idea, and I'm sure it's all due to like trying to hit load rates and weight rates for towing. But they put an aluminum jack on a 9,000-ish pound chipper that's capable of, 15 3/4, 16-inch logs, whatever. And then if you don't have a hook to a truck when you're using it, which sometimes we honestly just don't because of terrain and various other things, it bends, especially feeding it with any kind of equipment. So, and I don't like to feed the chipper hooked to my truck with the skid or the PT anyway, because it can be a little bit violent. Not to mention if you're running like 30-foot logs or 25-foot logs or whatever like we are through it, especially aspen and pine, then it moves the chipper back and forth quite aggressively, which puts exaggerated leverage force on that front jack. So I bought a new jack, but because it is a heavy machine, I can't pick up the tongue without something to do it. So like I said, I'd been waiting on the skid. I'm pretty sure at this point it's been 2 weeks. They haven't even called me to schedule my service in the field, which I'm pretty ticked off about with Bobcat. I'm probably, quite honestly, just going to go buy the 500-hour maintenance kit and do it myself. I think tomorrow is the last day, or today one is the last day of my warranty anyway. They gave me an option to renew my warranty for an extra year or 2 years. I could buy an extended warranty through Bobcat. They have been so difficult to deal with here in Grand Junction, Colorado. Not doing it. It's not worth it. I'll deal with any repairs I have to on my own. I'm hoping it doesn't need any major repairs because I've sunk a ton of money in this T770. I am not satisfied with Bobcat, honestly, of the Rockies here in Grand Junction. It's been my worst experience yet buying equipment and having service. It's just how it is. Unfortunately, I'm not afraid to put this information out on the internet, but at the same time, I have to play a little nice because as long as I own that thing, I have to deal with them. And that's very super frustrating to me, extremely frustrating. I tried to work stuff out with them. I tried to make, see if we can make it right, and nothing. It's the manager, I don't know. The manager's been nice and seemingly willing to help, and I'm not trying to call in question his character at all. But you just, at some point don't know who or not to trust. So when it's so hard to get any help at all, you just wonder. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now, and that's what I'm dealing with. So I bought the farm jack from, well, they call it a trail jack. The Harbor Freight Badlands trail jack, I think is what they call it. And we are going to use that to jack up the tongue of the chipper and put the new jack on it so that we can move it and get it into place for the work that we're doing. So yeah, should be kind of a short day up there. I've got stuff I've got to do this afternoon that's not work related. So I've got to be back down before 3:15 for sure. Well, before 3 o'clock, honestly. So just trying to get everything together, get it all done, get finished up on that lady's job. She's been super nice and super patient, but man, I tell you, it's been nothing but a problem. And we will be going from there. I got to get past these constant maintenance and breakdown issues that we've been having. I mean, maintenance and stuff is always a situation, but this has been ridiculous lately. So we're going to go and move forward and see what happens.
I wish I was going hunting tomorrow now that the elk are still talking. I told my brother he's got a first season tag for tomorrow.
When is yours?
It depends, either second or no.
No. We're going to have to talk that. Well, that one's still rolling forward on the...
We'll see. Might just pivot you a little bit.
Yeah. We can put, let's grab one of
something.
Here's a rock right here.
Try a first season tag. I told my brother as well, I guarantee it, you get out there early enough before anyone else, before shots start going crazy, and
yeah,
the elk are still going to be bugling. They're going to be bugling, and I was like, if you got a cow call, I'd be calling. If I was hunting first season. You can still call them in.
How's
first
that
season.
doing on that rock over there? It's moving, but I don't know if it's just
It's
settling
just
up.
pivoting. Pivoting onto it.
Okay.
You're moving back and forth now. You're swaying.
That's all right.
That's good.
Yeah, that should be good. I'll have to get that new one. Yoink. Here's the new one.
Yeah, I need to go shoot my rifle a couple more times.
Forgot we gotta chip that up too, real quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna go try to shoot my rifle like 600 yards. I hit 3 shots in a row at 430.
Well, that's good.
That's pretty far.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will say it's nothing.
Why is this thing going on here?
Needs a little.
No, I know, but I don't want to. It shouldn't be that hard to get on, is the thing. It's never been that hard to get on.
Does got some burrs.
Does
right
it?
on this edge.
Okay, here, hold on. Let me go ahead.
I think that burr is. Yeah, that burr's hitting the inside of the hole here.
Gotcha. Hold on a second.
It's barely moving past it.
Huh?
And it fits. I think it's just burrs.
Yeah, hold
Look,
on.
there's a burr right here stopping it.
Yeah, I get it done right here.
They probably are going to stop now after all your grinding. Yep, sun came up, they went quiet.
He called. There he goes.
Is it mewing or bugling?
Bugling. Over there. You can't hear that? Over there.
I can hear that. I wouldn't. I wish I should grab my binoculars. I bet you I can call him to that tree line right there.
He's over there calling.
There's some over here too.
Yeah. The one that's calling's over there.
Hey, crazy freaking bull just starts running through that field.
That bottom area is tight. This side's
tight,
right,
like
right
there.
here.
It's just barely hanging up.
I know, it's just barely.
There's also little burrs on the inside of that.
I just can't get into there.
Yeah, not with anything.
And see, this is slightly bellied in, which is the problem too. But I don't want to hammer it on because trying to get it on and then off, and with that being aluminum, I don't want to bend it, you know what I mean?
These calls are known worldwide. You know where they're made at?
Where?
Montrose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who makes them?
I think he's maybe in Kelowna or Montrose. I think he's actually in Montrose. But his calls are known worldwide.
Nice.
Like at least in the maybe not worldwide, but
Yeah.
like super popular in the western Colorado or western United States for western elk hunting.
Yeah.
Wayne Carlton, called Carlton calls. Yeah, he lives in Montrose. A lot of people use his calls.
truck up real quick. Watch that handle, don't let it fling up and hit you.
Surprised they give you that handle and they don't try to charge you $30 for it.
What now?
Surprised they give you the little keeper.
Oh, I know. I'm telling you. Like,
when I bought my high lift many years ago, I had to buy that extra.
Well, this is the Badlands one. This isn't the high.
Yeah.
So they're competing for serious. Oh, that's why this is all jacked up. Ew. I got you. The pin is out and the keeper's gone. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
What service do you have?
Verizon?
Been having issues with it?
Yeah, I've had issues with Verizon for years.
My phone's been freaking weird. Like text messages won't send. Barely texts come in. And then sometimes when I do get a text, it comes in like 4 times.
Yeah, we've been having texts come in double lately. It's been weird.
Yeah, I've been having a ton of issues with mine. It's been going to T-Mobile Edge, which it never does, and it's like says it's LTE and it's good service, but it really isn't. It sucks.
I don't even know what Edge is.
It's just
Here, can you actually hold this?
a little bit of. It's like a part of T-Mobile.
Can you hold this for me right here? Just glad I had the angle grinder. I would have never expected that I was gonna have to.
Don't change a little shorter on this.
What?
Change a little shorter on this.
Go around the outside. Go up from under.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then over. That's how they have theirs designed. I thought that was weird too. So. Could you help me get that plate and put it in here for the, what's it called as well?
Yeah, that type in plate.
Yeah, before I forget it. Because sure as the world it's going to get left. Alright, so we had to replace the jack on this. Had to grind it. Didn't expect to have to grind it at all. So I'm glad I had the Makita with the 18 volt angle grinder, because that actually took care of it with a flap disc. Reason we had to do this? Well, that should explain it. What do you think?
Yeah, even the squares even.
Yeah, everything's bent. So that's why we had to replace it. So, yeah. It's been through a little bit.
Blame Kurt.
We'll blame Kurt. Mainly we'll blame skid pushing.
Yeah, skid operators.
These stupid skid operators, they don't know what they're doing. Crazy jokers. Oh, where did I put my other bar? I must have left it at the house. Okay, gotta remember to put that in there. All right, real quick, folks. I am going to say that this really should be for tree service professionals and equipment operators, a must-have on your truck. They do so much. Like, we think of them as off-road equipment these days, but my dad always knew them as farm jacks.
Yeah, farm jack.
And it's because they do so much. Like, if you look at this one, so This is the Badlands one from Harbor Freight. And what's interesting about this one to me is that it comes with a bunch of the options that the high lift makes you buy, right? Like, comes with the keeper, the handle keeper. It also comes with the upgraded clamp, because if you notice, this one's got the chain in it,
Yeah,
the chain hook.
Whereas
Whereas the high lift, you have to actually buy this separate. And this is the 48 inch, and I think I paid 90 bucks for it. So not too bad. And just now using it, it ran smooth. It didn't get caught up.
One thing that the high lift's got a little bit better that I'm noticing is they actually put a little hook on there.
Yeah, they have the hook, and they have the teeth are a little bit better for clamping. So if you don't know, this actually can be flipped around, and this can be used like a vise. You can clamp between this and this. That's why I put it on there.
Or you can use it for winching out too.
Yeah, you can use them for winching with chain. You can put a clevis through here. The interesting thing that I noticed is this hole looks smaller. I don't know, but I think it's smaller, so your clevises are smaller that you can put on here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use that hole, but your leverage is off. So you can actually use this as a manual winch. It's slow, and your movement isn't very far. It's not very long of a pull. A 60 inch, like my 60 inch high lift, would be a longer pull per go. But yeah, it's actually, so from the first farm jack, or trail jack is what Harbor Freight calls theirs, Badlands is the trail jack. From the first one to this one, this is a way upgrade. I'm not gonna lie. The first one I ever bought from Badlands was not that great. Like, all the cast was kind of weird, and it didn't run smoothly because these weren't smooth. They were like really, the casting was poor. But this is honestly a pretty nice upgrade. And I mean, the mechanisms run pretty smooth. I was really surprised, actually. And for 90 bucks, you can't beat it. You have all the base plate holes for different things, for attachments. It looks like it's the same size. You could probably buy like those base plate, you know, the plastic base plates for sand or whatever, the footprints. Probably fit on this just as well as the high lift.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's worth the money, and I honestly believe that every tree service, forestry guy, or crew, I should say, and equipment operator should have one of these, because I actually used it to lift up the scarifying bar. It fell over and I couldn't pick it up, so it's easy to pick up and stuff. Yeah, so just something to keep in mind, folks. For 90 bucks, it can save you a lot of problems. I do recommend the 48 inch over the 60 inch, unless you're doing something very specific, because the 60 inch is long, it's way heavier, just not as needed.
Unless you're just off-road purpose. If
Yeah.
you're only off-road, you got 40 inch tires, and yeah, it makes sense
Yeah.
to do the 60.
I have the 60 inch for off-roading because of big holes.
Yeah, holes,
Sometimes
tires,
you need that
suspension
extra
travel.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that difference in height just to get to your bumper or whatever.
Now you're gonna have to do a safety course on how to use it.
Oh, I know.
So people don't blame you for knocking their teeth out.
I know. These things are, I will say that is one of the most dangerous off-road equipment pieces, and even shop pieces that you can have. They will kill you. I have known a guy who got smacked in the face with the handle and had to have reconstructive surgery and plates put in, and it's not, you don't play with them. Know how to use them.
And they'll tip over. And
yeah, I think you should have one, but you definitely need to know how to use it, that's for sure. So we are going to chip up that little pile right there real quick, and then we've got some wood up there that we've got to use the carbide chain on and cut up. I got to get that swapped over on the saw, and chip all that up. And not because I have to for the tree, but I'm going to do a favor for the lady, and I'm actually going to climb a aspen real quick because I've got to test out a few things. So that one that was right by the wood, you know, where the pile of wood was, it died, which I knew it was because it was almost dead to begin with. And she asked me if I'd take it out, and I told her no originally because I've spent so much time up here, but now I've left my equipment on her property for so long.
Why are you going to climb it? Why are we going to climb it?
I got to test a piece of equipment.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only reason. It doesn't need to be climbed. You could easily fell it.
Yeah.
But
well, I didn't bring my climb gear, so.
I did. I have to climb it. I'm gonna climb it, test out some equipment, and It should take only like 20 minutes to climb, and then we'll chip it too so that she has that tree gone. So that's what we got going on, and now I'm just going to get the truck put in position, and we're going to start chipping. One chipped up, we're gonna go to the next one now. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm here. I have got the Gecko carbon fibers on, the carbon fiber spikes. I told you guys I would do a review on these, and that's what we're doing today. These are the notch, these are not the distal carbon fibers. I can't seem to find the distal carbon fibers. Michael with San Juan Tree Care is behind the camera. Have you seen this, the distals available? I don't know.
A long time. I saw them a while ago, but I haven't looked recently.
Yeah, I don't know that they're even available in the market for some reason. So I said I'd do a quick review, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go into, well, I mean, they're spikes. There's not a ton to go into. So the carbon fibers are about a pound lighter than all of your other spikes. I should say the other distals, the aluminums. The steels, I don't know how much heavier they are. They're quite a bit.
Pounds, I believe.
Yeah. And if you're comparing these to like the Buckinghams and all that, they're considerably lighter than those because of the cuff structure and all that stuff, right? So what we're doing here today is we're going to talk about why I like the carbon fibers and why I bought them. So a lot of people were like, why did you buy carbon fiber? Does the weight really matter in climbing? Well, if you're climbing a lot, it can matter just because it's more weight you're lugging up a tree. However, I don't think the weight's really as big of a deal to me as the fact that the carbon fiber flexes more. And because the carbon fiber shanks flex a little bit more and the cuffs flex a little bit more in this area here, what happens is I get a better feel climbing, and it doesn't push laterally on my knees as bad. So like in a steel shank or even an aluminum, even though aluminum does flex a little bit more, they tend to direct this linear pressure directly into your knee, and your leg is being bent, which is why people have bad knees after spike climbing for long periods of time. Pole gaff guys, whatever. These don't do that nearly as bad, and they're way more comfortable. I can be on these all day long and my knees don't hurt nearly like they did in the aluminums or the steels. So is the, you know, I guess they're around $1,000, like 900, something like that. Is the price of the carbon fibers worth it? In my opinion, they are. To be honest, I think they're totally worth it. Once again, not for the weight factor. If you're going to spend $1,000, I don't know that saving a pound of weight for $1,000 is worth it. I really don't. I would recommend for a budget, get the aluminums because they're really good. They're not quite as light, but they're what, like 500 bucks? Something like that, I think, for the aluminums. Versus the almost $1,000 for the carbon fibers.
Going for them too is the flex. They like to flex in your inner tree, so they're not as rigid. They got a little bit of movement in them.
Yeah.
So when you're in a weird position, your ankles, you know, you're pushing in a tree and you're out here sawing, they get a little bit of flex, so that'll make them more comfortable in the long run.
And it doesn't try to push you off the tree as much too, like Michael's saying, because if you're shank like the steel ones I had, sometimes I'd be in a weird position and it's trying to direct all that force against your legs and your knees, and it's trying to push you off the tree. So the carbon fibers in general, in my opinion, are just more comfortable. So if you do a lot of spike climbing, or if when you do spike climbing, you're in them a long time, or you're doing complex trees, like the trees we do are usually pretty complex, right? For removals, like the elms and the big cottonwoods. Lots of weird angles, lots of weird branch unions and stuff, and you're having to like hang off the side, and having comfortable spikes, in my opinion, is worth it. So I'm also 42, so my knees aren't young, and I've skateboarded and BMX bike ridden and stuff and dirt bikes and whatever for a long time. So my knees are just kind of shot. So anything that I can do now to preserve my knees and, you know, make my career longer in this industry is a good investment. And they're really solid. Like, they don't crack. I haven't had any cracks in them. I think some of the original carbon fibers from Distal had a cracking issue. The material was separating, but that's been years ago. I don't know of any problems. Now, the notch versus Distal, should you buy one of the other or the other? If I have the option, I'm going to buy Distal, but like I said, nobody had the Distals available. And these notch are actually pretty good quality. I have my reasons for my choices that I'm not going to go into, you know, in a public forum, because it doesn't really matter. But as a general rule, if I can, I'm going to buy from the original designer first. And in this case, that wasn't an option, so the notches were fine. Are they a good quality? Yeah, they are. I think they're a great quality. I don't know if yours has it, Michael, but can you show the bottom of my shank down there under my foot?
Yeah, they got the little
rubber pad here. That actually makes a big difference.
See that? Yeah, there we go.
That actually makes a big difference. The grip it gives you on branches and things is substantial. So that is a little feature that you might think is a little dumb or whatever. I was like, how much does it make a difference? I thought it might make a difference originally. In fact, I had an idea years ago to put rubber on the bottom of my...
The aluminums don't have that at all.
Yeah, I didn't think the aluminums did, right?
No.
So the aluminums don't have it. These carbon fiber do, and it's totally worth it. It does change the grip, especially I've noticed like in a dewy tree where there's like dew on the...
Yeah. Well, a lot of times you're in a position where you can't get your spike into the tree. You're actually standing on a branch.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when you're really slick and slide out.
Yeah, I mean,
you always have your gaps in the tree. So
even dry trees, if you're standing on like the aluminum shanks or whatever, are slick. But when your tree has dew on it or a little bit of rain, it's really slick. And these help a lot. I really think that it was a great idea. You can only do so much with grip before you start shredding the bark. Because I looked at like some aluminum grips and stuff, but you start tearing up the tree, so that's not worth it. So I think that they've really found a good balance with this rubber grip that they have on it. So hope you guys find this interesting. Hope it's beneficial for you. Let me know if you have any questions. Did I miss any features? Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye, Michael. So this is the little Aspen that I was just in for the spike review that I was saying didn't need to be climbed at all. You can see why. So we're going to cut it down. Michael's going to do the cutting today. But we're going to use the 400C. Now, I didn't buy the carbide chain to fell trees with. That's not why I bought it. Bought the carbide chain for stumps. Like over there, we've got a whole pile of stumps, some of them pretty dirty, that we got to cut up and chip. So that's why I bought it. But while it's brand new, I wanted to see what we thought about how it cuts, like just normally, because I've heard they don't cut as well as a normal chain. I don't know. That's what I've heard. So we're gonna do a little bit of testing here and see how well it works. And I'm gonna let Michael do the cut so I can run the camera.
Probably just gonna push it off this way so you can back in here.
It's actually leaning pretty heavy that way. If you just let it fall straight across there.
Trying to make it work and chip it easier.
Oh, you want it to swing around so that we can pull it in? Gotcha.
I'll get it angled off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to cut it up a little bit anyway, so. Because it's fairly green.
So this is a green aspen, not a hardwood at all. There it goes, swinging around. That's perfect.
Definitely bites.
Does it bite hard?
It's stuck. It doesn't like kick through.
Huh.
That's also probably because the safety chain, the weight.
Yeah. I don't even think they make the carbides in, I don't think they make them in skip tooth either. I think they're only full house and safety, if I remember correctly.
Definitely digging in more than the normal chain.
Hey, go ahead and buck it up to sizes that we can, you know, pick up and put in the chipper and see how it feels. That didn't seem too bad. Actually seemed like it cut pretty good there.
It was okay for aspen.
I mean, a skip tooth and, you know.
I mean, it's not going to be as efficient as any other chain, but
no.
For
so what
nasty material and keeping the chain sharp for longer on nasty material is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I don't know that it starts off. I mean, it's not dull. Like if you look at the chip mounds, it's not dull by any means. So I don't know if it's quite as sharp or possible to get it quite as sharp as a standard chain, but it will hold a good edge much longer in dirty conditions, is what I'm understanding.
It definitely doesn't have the edge.
So I think it's just a little bit of a trade-off. I wonder why. Can you just not get carbide that sharp? Because I mean, you have carbide chisels and stuff
that why you couldn't get it that sharp, but it definitely feels duller.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they start off a little duller so that they don't have quite a fine of an edge.
And they last longer too. Being not a fine edge, they're going to last a little bit longer to work.
That's probably why.
You don't have to sharpen them, because you can't sharpen them with a normal file anyway, so maybe they do that on purpose.
So it doesn't roll over the, you know. Because if you have a very, very, very thin piece of metal, even, so like on my mulcher, the blades are AR400, and that's a pretty resilient blade because of the chromium in it. The chromal, what is it? The chromium, I think it is, or I can't remember, but because of that metal, it makes it more wear resistant. You can get it thin, but it doesn't last as long because the edges bend real easy because they're too thin. So I wonder if that's why they've done that with the carbide chain too. I don't know, but it's interesting nonetheless. So we're gonna go cut up some super dirty stumps and see what that's like. Yeah, I mean, it's
definitely doled up. You can see it's not as good as this. But this was even after you cut through the dirt.
yeah. Well, that had a weird pocket in it too, over there that I just cut, so.
Those are pretty decent chips.
Yeah. It's not fast, but it's consistent. Like, the speed is consistent. Oh, let me wipe off the. Yeah, it's super consistent. You're no way a normal chain would have done that.
No, I think a normal chain, once you cut through that first bit of dirt.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, look at this right here. This is all dirt.
Yeah, there's no way it would have done that on the normal chain.
Probably cut through 1 to 2 inches of dirt.
So the question is then, this is a 24-inch bar, or 25-inch bar according to Steel. It's actually 24, but that's neither here nor there. Is a $185 chain worth it? What's a standard safety chain for 24 or 25-inch? Like 60?
Yeah, roughly.
Usually it's I think what is it, 80 cents a link or something like that, 75 cents a link. So you're paying 2.5 times the price. But you know how much time you would have spent trying to sharpen your chain to cut all this that we just cut?
Had to sharpen again, and now we still got, you know, this piece to cut.
Yeah, we got
Still
this
good.
piece to cut. I think we're gonna have to cut some off of that one over there to get it to go through, maybe. This one here probably have to cut that horn off. I mean, if you had to sharpen your chain between even just 2 of these cuts that we're talking about, it would have been a lot of time. So I think the chain is worth it. One other nuance of these chains is most people can't sharpen them themselves. You have to have a special diamond grinding disc. Some shops are sharpening them though, so keep that in mind and make the decision for yourself. So if you're in the Montrose Western Slope area, Delta Ace Hardware has a good selection of carbide chains, even though they don't register online as having them. I just happened to walk in because Michael needed a part. He reminded me of the Ace. I went over there. They have a lot of stuff, actually. They have more of a saw shop than most saw shops. So I would definitely go to Ace Hardware in Delta if you're looking for steel products, if you're in the Western Slope area and nobody else has what you need. So hope that helps you guys out, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.
That beautiful baby, I don't fit it. I'm struggling, I'm trying to be one of them, but I'm an idiot around here.
So we got the chipper down and we're back home, and that's it. We got it done. We're off of that side up there. Got to pick up a couple of more small pieces of equipment and tools, and that is it. Now we start on a bunch of the jobs down here in town, and that will be starting next week. So have some more videos coming up and some more projects that we're doing as far as maintenance and different jobs that we're getting done, and some climbing. I'll be climbing hopefully a few days next week to get some stuff caught up and get us through some jobs, and have some more reviews for you as well. So thanks for checking in, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.